When your partner asks a loaded question, do you tell the truth or say what they want to hear? Because let's be real, sometimes honesty is not actually what they are looking for. OP's girlfriend went off birth control, and now they have to use protection. She asked OP if it feels the same, and he, being a very brave but slightly clueless man, decided to answer honestly. And now she is upset. So was OP being too blunt, or was his girlfriend asking for an answer she was not ready to hear? Let's get into it.
Am I the bad guy for telling my partner that it does not feel as good with protection? For context, my partner recently stopped birth control for the first time in years. I've always been 100% supportive of her decision, as it is her body, her choice. She wanted to stop taking it so she could identify her mood changes more accurately, and I fully respected that. Since then, we have had to use condoms when being intimate, and I will not lie, it is a different experience from what we were used to for the last 2 years. Today, my partner asked me how it felt and if it was as good with protection. I answered honestly, it's different, and it is not really like it used to be. And then, as if trying to soften the blow, I followed up with, yeah, it's okay. Well, she did not take that well. She got upset and said she was seeking reassurance, not a blunt, factual answer. She told me that some things should be kept to myself because hearing that made her feel bad. I will admit, she caught me off guard with the question, and I could have phrased my answer better. But at the same time, if she asked, should I not be honest? If I had lied in that moment, when exactly would have been the right time to be truthful? Edit. No need for concern. We had a good conversation and got on the same page. Turns out she was just looking for reassurance, and I misunderstood it as an opening for an honest discussion. We agreed that in moments where comfort is needed, we will have an actual discussion later, even if it is not easy. Thanks for everyone's input.
All right, so here is the thing. OP was not wrong for telling the truth, but my guy, you gotta learn to read the room. When someone asks a question like, does it feel the same? They are not conducting a scientific study. They are looking for a very specific kind of answer, and unfortunately, yeah, it's okay, is not it. But maybe I am being too harsh on OP. Maybe Reddit has a fresh perspective on this that will change my mind. So let us see what the internet has to say. Was OP just being honest, or did he accidentally walk into a no-win situation? Kara Auden says, not the bad guy, but I do think it is important to understand that women are often pressured to give up their health for their partner's pleasure. Even if you are not personally pressuring her, that does not mean she does not feel that way. I would reassure her that even if it feels different, her health matters more, and you are happy to make that adjustment. This is so important. OP's girlfriend might be feeling that pressure subconsciously, even though OP is not actually pushing her to do anything. This is why reassurance matters. A simple, your health and happiness are more important than how it feels for me, could have changed the entire conversation. And designer 14217 agrees. Yeah, I like this response. Reassure her that she should not push aside her needs just to make things feel better for you. Exactly. It is not about hiding the truth. It is about framing it in a way that makes her feel valued. Meanwhile, Alicia takes the big picture perspective. Does it feel better without protection? Not really. But does it feel better than holding a screaming newborn while your exhausted partner struggles to sit up and feed for the 10th time that night? Absolutely. I mean, mic drop. Sometimes you just need a reality check. But then Elefantin offers some wording advice. Maybe do not use the word sacrifice, as if you would be entitled to it otherwise. Her taking hormones was the real sacrifice. Oof. Yeah. This is actually a great point. Saying, I am making a sacrifice makes it sound like OP is giving up something that was rightfully his. Instead, he could just emphasize that it is not a big deal and that he cares more about her well-being. And then Come Hold Me challenges the idea of a tiny difference. Let's be real. A tiny bit better is not true. It is a big difference. And honestly, women can feel that difference too. Reassurance is important, but minimizing the reality of it is disingenuous. This is interesting because OP is in a tough spot. If he says it is only a small change, his girlfriend might feel dismissed. If he says it is a huge difference, she might feel insecure. The key? Framing it as an adjustment, not a downgrade. And Crabcorkle shares a real-life example of how to say it right. Even I was not expecting the relief I felt when my husband said, "Yeah, but you not having a stroke or blood clot feels way better than anything else," and laughed it off like it was no big deal. Okay, this is what OP needed to do. Still honest, but reassuring. Just casually reminding her that her health is way more important than any physical difference. Dodger Green 89 also emphasizes that it is not about sacrifice. It is about perspective. Love this answer, but do not make it sound like a huge sacrifice. You actually want to minimize your contribution here. Her health is not costing you much at all. That is the vibe you should be giving off. Yes, the moment OP starts acting like this is a big deal, it becomes a big deal. Instead, he should act like it is just a natural part of the relationship. And Charming by 7235 highlights something really important. I have tried communicating that intimacy is not the most important thing, and that I am happy my partner got off birth control, but somehow, it still feels like the only thing that matters is how it feels for me. This is exactly what OP's girlfriend might be feeling. Even though OP is not pressuring her, she might feel like her health choices are now centered around his experience. And finally, Vanilla Frenchie brings up something many people overlook. "Oh, that is a different perspective. I was thinking her reaction was out of proportion, but I have never been on birth control. I did not know withdrawal could have that effect. Maybe she was just extra emotional because of that?" Yes! Going off birth control messes with hormones. She might be reacting more emotionally than usual, and this is just a temporary adjustment period. All right, here is where I stand, as an Asian female who grew up knowing that some questions are just traps. 1. OP was not wrong, but he definitely could have answered better. Look, honesty is great, but there is a difference between honesty and tact. She was not looking for a review. She was looking for reassurance. If OP had said, "It is different, but I love every moment with you," this post would not exist. 2. His girlfriend is not completely in the right either. I get it. We all want validation, but if you ask a direct question, expect a direct answer. If she was looking for comfort, she could have led with that. 3. This was just a classic case of miscommunication. No one is the bad guy, but this is a perfect example of why some questions should come with disclaimers. If you just want to hear something nice, make it clear. And if you are asked a loaded question, think before you speak. At the end of the day, this was avoidable. And in an Asian household, this is the kind of conversation that would never even happen, because someone's auntie would have overheard it, started gossiping, and changed the subject before anyone could answer. But what do you think? Should OP have sugarcoated his response, or was his girlfriend setting him up for failure? Let me know. And if you have ever been put on the spot with a loaded question, drop your most awkward moments in the comments, because I need to know, how bad does it really get?